So I had to cut my other episode pretty short because I had people coming and going, and I didn't really have a whole lot of time to make the video. But uh, I decided to make a video on both comic books. I had done a tweet with this comic book laid next to Kid Lobotomy #2, and I was like, hey, which one do you guys think I should do it on? And everybody was saying, you know, Kid Lobotomy, because the first video I did was so cringy, and the second one was too. So check out my channel, Underground Geek, and you'll see my reviews on Kid Lobotomy. It's terrible. So I just read this book, and you know, I really have no idea who Kull is. There's Kull, Krull, Conan, all these different, and they all just seem the same to me, you know. So I'd just rather just stick with Conan because he's the more well-known one. And I think if you do that, that you kind of miss out on some things, because for those of you that don't know, Kull and Conan are a lot alike. They're almost mirror images, except Kull is he has a lot more personality, and he has a lot more conflictions going on in his life. He actually came before Conan. Conan came out of a rewrite for one of Kull's failed stories. Isn't that interesting? So we have this book now. It's from IDW. It's Kull Eternal, and this is issue #1. And it's good, but it's confusing at the same time. I don't really know where this is going, because we have this cover here. Okay, the art's pretty decent. All the little reptile people. But then we cut to this, and I'm kind of confused, because it says this is Antarctica now. So basically, this recon group gets back from doing all their recon things, and before they can get back into the base, they have to recite this paraphrase. And the crew doesn't know the paraphrase, apparently. And if you'll notice, they start acting weird, and then their eyes start glowing. And so he tells them his paraphrase, and they still don't tell him theirs. So that's when they know something's up, and that's when they change into these reptile people and start shooting everybody. They clip the commander there. Then the big guy on the machine gun starts mowing them down. They start fighting the lizard people, cutting their heads off. The lizard people aren't that bright, it seems like. You know, they're smart enough to conceal themselves and be able to talk, but they can't do big paraphrases, and they're not extremely good at combat. They keep getting caught off guard and get their heads cut off and everything like that. So, yeah, they pretty much take them down. Everybody's kind of like sorting things out. I don't really know why they stuck the knife in the decapitated part of the snake's body, but okay. Then there's one laying here. I guess he's dead. And they're all kind of talking, and I don't really know what's going on. There's a discount gambit here. They're all talking. They said that there's somewhere they got to be. They're still kind of, you know, talking amongst themselves. Gambit's talking about the X-Men. And then they notice something here, this big pyramid in the middle of the Antarctica. And they're like, that's where we're supposed to be. That's where we're going, okay? So then it cuts to Volusia long ago, okay? This woman has just arrived in the kingdom. She walks up to the front steps, tells them that she's there to see the king on business, and then pulls off her robe, and she's extremely attractive, and it distracts them. So from there, she walks past everyone else. They're all staring and gawking. Man, they're doing their male gaze at her. She finds the Duke. That's who she was there to see. She tells him that everything's going well. The plan that they came up with is going good. She goes to see the king, and the king's sitting on his throne. He looks like or he looks like Conan the Conqueror. You know how he was sitting on his throne, just kind of bored and pretty much done everything he could do. And she says, I'm here to catch a tiger. And his whole thing is he wears like a tiger pelt, and that's kind of his symbol, Kull's is. And so Kull actually he's done talking. They're trying to talk to him about business within the kingdom. He's not having it. He's out, you know. So he stares at himself, and you can see him kind of back in the day in the image in his wine there. And he's just kind of, and she's narrating. She says, I see it in your eyes, the longing. You possess so much, Kull, wine, women, power, riches, but not what you truly desire. The Baron has asked me to trap a tiger when in truth you are already ensnared. A warrior lost without a war. So then we're talking about his life here. This is pretty much what has gone on in his life. He was kind of a wild kid, and then he was later captured and put into slavery, and then he escaped and become a warrior. And then he basically worked his way to the top of the kingdom and then had to kill the evil king. And so that's pretty much it. He's talking to his best buddy, which is one of the spearmen. The spearman's trying to get him to go on an adventure. He thinks that's what he really needs. He needs to be a warrior. And he says, no, I need to be a king and blah, blah, blah. But here's what's funny. He doesn't listen to his friend, but then the lady introduces herself, and I can't really tell. Is that her butt? I mean, that's so weird. She tells him of a place that he needs to go that will help all of his problems. She says, it's in the house of 1,000 mirrors. You'll seek out a magician or a wizard, and he'll have what you need. He's going to make your life complete. And he just listens. He don't listen to his best friend. He listens to this random chick. So then the Baron's like, yay, we're going to get this kingdom because something's going to happen to him. He goes to the house of 1,000 mirrors, and she has followed him. He then walks in. She says, very soon the new Atlantis will be ours to rule, mighty Kull. Volusia will be darned. And so, obviously she's got plans for him. And says, Kull of Volusia, I was expecting you. Please enter. My father will make it so. So this is apparently her father, which is a magician. My house is yours. And so this is where it's to be continued. And then we see next issue, and it's very confusing because it almost looks like colonial times. We got the American flag here. Next issue, blah, blah. It looks like they're fighting some kind of war. So I don't really understand because I thought that it was just like barbarian times. I didn't know that we're going to do like time jumping and stuff. But maybe he is eternal. Maybe he kept living and he's still around. Pretty interesting concept if it is. But yeah, this is really my first reading of Kull. See, that's him. Obviously, he's the discount Gambit, but it doesn't really talk about it that much. There's all the different covers it has. Now, the writer is Tom Waltz. The art is Luca Pizzari. And the colors are Triana Tree Farrell. And I got to say, it's a pretty decent comic. I mean, what else should you expect? There's a good bit of action in the beginning, and then there's a lot of talking. I kind of wish there was a little bit more action, but there's kind of setting everything up. There's a very interesting character. We don't know really what's up with this lady. Going back, I was like, I remember Kull from somewhere. Where is Kull from? And then I remembered. Do you guys remember the 1997 movie with Kevin Sorbo, Kull? I loved that movie. I forgot all about it. It was in 97. It was very cheesy. It was very fun. To me, it was on the level of a lot of the other action movies around that time. And now that I remember Kevin Sorbo was in it, he was jacked in that movie too. He was in pretty good shape. He had just came off from all the success of Hercules, and because they mentioned it in the trailer, they're like, Kevin Sorbo, Hercules is now Kull, the Eternal, and it was a really fun movie. I remember it had a lot of rock in it, like 90s rock in there, which was pretty fun. But you might want to check that movie out, or if you've already watched it, write about it in the comments there. But what did you guys think about this book? Have y'all been reading it? This is the only issue I found, but I'm pretty sure it's been out for a while. But it didn't sell, so I went and picked it back up at a discount to talk about it. Since Marvel's sucking it up so bad, I figured it was time to venture out into other things and kind of check other things out. I'm a big superhero comic fan. I'm not too into different comics, so to get my attention, you're really going to have to try. This is a decent comic. I may pick up issue number 2. It just depends. But yeah, I wanted to check it out and let you guys know what was going on with it. It just had a very interesting cover. And so, yeah, it's worth it. I would think I would get it. It's readable. And then check out issue 2, and see how that goes. But, yeah, definitely watch that movie, Kull. Kull, it was fun. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Underground Geek here. If you'd like to support me on my Patreon, you can also go to Teespring and get one of my t-shirts to help me pay for my comic book that I'm writing. And yeah, hopefully I'll have some images out before long to let you guys kind of see what we're working on, and just kind of give you guys an update. But all right, guys, Underground Geek out.